everyone, welcome to Alchemy. In this video we bring you the August forecast for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising sign. If you'd like to know how this month's gonna go, carry on watching. So this is the spread we have for those of you of Taurus, those of you who have Taurus as your sun sign, moon or rising sign, okay? If you have any doubts regarding your rising sign or your moon sign, I'm going to leave you here with a video where I show you how to make your natal chart online for free and how to identify immediately your rising sign and your moon sign. All you need is your birth data and the time of your birth has to be precise to the minute, as precise as possible, because that's what's going to determine your rising sign more than your location. So if the city where you were born is not listed, you can go for the nearest listed city. That won't be a problem, okay? So for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. If you haven't done so yet, please consider giving us a subscription, and so subscribe our channel and press the bell button to know when we have new videos around here in the channel. Also give us a like or a comment if you feel like there is something that you would like to say. If you have any doubts, any feelings, any suggestions, the comment box is your house, and we are more than glad to read what you write and to answer it if that's the case. All right, so without further ado, let's go into the spread, and we begin with the energy of the month, that is the Devil, and comes with a King of Coins. What we have here, the Devil is a card. There are two cards that let's rephrase this. There are two cards in the tarot deck that have the worst kind of fame for, and it's completely wrong. That's the Devil and Death. None of them represent really what they show. So the Devil has nothing to do with the Devil itself. The Devil has to do with empowerment and what you let have power over you in your life. What are your temptations? Okay, and this is a representation of it, because the Devil is usually a card that talks about where do we lose our personal power and where we can gain it, of course. So say that you are a very well-resolved person, you are very assertive, you know what you want, you know how to get it, and you go get it without giving your power away. Then the Devil is well-lived, and this card would represent your magnetism and your ability to achieve what you are looking for. That's why this card is associated with Capricorn, okay? Because it's a card that has a lot of focus and a lot of drive and a lot of magnetism as well, and is very socially oriented towards getting some growth socially, some improvement in your life conditions, better pay, okay? If you are living the Devil as from a point of view where you let pretty much everyone have control over you, say you have an addiction, or say that you are emotionally manipulated by your significant one, by your family, by your boss, the Devil would represent all of those situations, and it would represent exactly where you lost your personal power. So this card this month talks about, well, it comes with the King of Coins, it talks about materialization, okay? It talks about where you gain your power or where you lose it when you try to make something happen, all right? So in this case, this card can be read in either of two ways, either one of two ways. If you are a very well-resolved person, you have here a card that shows a lot of magnetism in the bot, a lot of materialization ability, okay? And even the capacity to have the help from someone who is an authority in this realm, someone who can advise you financially, or help from a boss, or a well-read friend that can give you a hand with that, someone who can give you a hand with your business or with your work. But if you are living this from a point of view where you feel like everything is having control over you, in this case, you are living this card from the energy of the controlled one, okay? So you need here the help from someone else to show you how to be assertive and how to regain this personal control and personal power, okay, over yourself and specifically over your material life, okay? So go for it. This is said again by the tarot here when it comes to your money. So seek help, see what you can do, okay? But look at things and make sure that you are the one in control, okay? You need to be assertive. The card of the devil is a card of assertiveness more than anything, okay? If you want something, be clear, be specific about it, so that when you are seeking for it and when you are working towards it, you know exactly what you're working for, what you are seeking, what are the outcomes that you are looking for, what can you expect, what you want to get, okay? That's the key to the devil. The key to the devil is for you to know exactly what you want and being able to get it. Not, oh, I want to get a raise, but my boss says that it's not the best time, but I don't want to, I'm afraid that I may lose my job, this and that and those. And then you look at it and it's something that you're putting in front of you as a difficulty, where you can go to your boss and ask for a raise. Well, no is a guaranteed answer. Whatever else comes more than that will be a benefit, right? If he says that it's not possible and you really need that raise, there is something else that you can do out there. It might be helpful. You can get a second job, or you can try and get more money from side gigs. Say you can translate online, you can sell some, you can do a garage sale, or you can try and sell stuff that you make as a hobby. Paintings, DIYs like crochet, and say that you do some wood sculptures, wood carving, whatever it is that you can do. There is always something that you can market. You can iron for friends. Anything that you can do, as long as you take the responsibility onto you to get what you want, you will find a way to do it. All right, instead of moping around and looking and seeking, oh, but I can't do this because he, she, it is stopping me. All right, that's the card of the devil. That's where you get your personal power back. So this is a month for you to do it, period. Okay, this is a very, very powerful month regarding the regaining of your personal power. And if you are serious about it, you'll find help to do so. Then we have the obstacle of the month. Difficulty of the month, the challenge. And I say challenge because this is to be overcome. This card is to be lived to its fullest, but right, it may be difficult to do so in the beginning. That's why it's the challenge of the month. And here we have the Magician, and the Magician is the lower key to the devil. Why? Because, well, the devil is the devil. It's pretty much like a genie. The devil can do pretty much anything. So can the Magician, but with some limitations, all right? So the Magician is the one that picks up the elements, the stranded elements, puts them together and turns those elements into something that is usable, that is tangible, that is palpable, that is concrete, you know? The Magician is a force of beginnings, a force of creation. It's a force of creativity and materialization, of making things happen here in the real world, in the real life. So this comes with the Three of Swords that talks about disappointments, treasons, losses. So it may happen that you have already gone through this process another time. You tried to be creative and somehow you felt let down. And this may be the case also, that this month, once again, you try to be creative, you try to put your best foot forward, you try to make things happen, and then you see that you are thwarted by conditions, you're thwarted by friends, you are betrayed, or you feel like you have been misguided regarding paperwork, because this is swords, it may represent that as well, okay? But the idea is for you to overcome this feeling of everything happening to you. You see, so it comes with the devil as well. This is about you being able to overcome this feeling of always being let down, always being betrayed, and making things happen. Still believing in the magician in you, still believing that you can do stuff, overcoming whatever situation it is that comes towards you. Because yes, you'll have disappointments this month. Whenever you try to do something new, you will feel like there is something wrong, and you'll see that you'll be either disappointed or cheated on by something or someone. All right, but your work is for you to see, okay, from all of this, where is my responsibility? What could I have done different that would not give this kind of control to that person, to that situation, to that tax? Okay, if there is some paperwork just to do with the taxes or whatever, what could I have done different? And then pick up your pieces, rise again, and start anew with your responsibility intact and with your ability to go forward to the max. Okay? Then, to your love life, we have the moon and the 3 of coins. So for those of you who are alone, I would say that this is a great month for you to work on your spiritual side. Okay, to get in touch with your feminine side, with your sacred feminine. This is valid for either men or women, no matter, because all of us have both sides, feminine and masculine. You have to get in touch with that part of you that is very receptive, that is very intuitive, that is very aware, very psychic, very dreamy. Okay, you have to be in touch with that part and use that to build on. Okay, we have here the 3 of coins. 3 of coins usually a card that talks about a first stage that has been completed. So a first stage of something has been completed. So if you have been alone, I would say that this is the moment for you to complete a first stage of using your intuition more wisely, focusing on your inner self, focusing on your self-worth, focusing on your ability to receive, because the moon is a card that talks about being able to receive, about being able to nest, about being able to embrace something. Okay, it's a very receptive card, and it's also a card that that talks about this this very crabby, because it is the regent of the Cancer sign, but this crabby ability for defense. Okay, so the moon can be very defensive because it may be seeing threats everywhere. You see, if you look at a crab, the crab has a very, very, very hard shell, and if you break it, underneath there is a second shell that will harden if the first one breaks. Okay, so the thing with the crab is you need to open it, pry open those paws and let it be able to receive. That's one of the situations with the moon. Sometimes it's not very receptive, but because around them, because the moon doesn't let you see anything clearly, you see only threats, and you need to work on that and see that there is not only threats around you. But nevertheless, you should not keep on your pink goggles just because you want to see everything nice around you. Okay, you need to be very precise, very specific, and very objective with what's going on around you. I know with the moon it's kind of difficult, so that's why this month your love life, to those of you who are alone, is focusing on learning how to love you, love yourself, love who you are, love your inner works, your inner pain, letting it go, loving yourself, loving your image, loving your receptiveness, loving your intuition, and developing those areas. All right, for those of you who are in a relationship, also just to finish, if you are alone and someone comes around, it may be a little iffy. Okay, so again, take off your pink goggles and see if that relationship has actually possibility to go forward, because usually with the moon, it's something that it's not defined, and it will trigger a lot of emotional responses on you, but it will not be something made to last. Okay, this is for the majority of you. This is not a personal reading, so see if this fits to you. For those of you who are in a relationship, so the first stage of something has been completed. The first stage of your relationship has been completed, and now this moon tells me that you need to get down to the specifics. And I'd say this because it comes with the 3 of Coins. You need to make a plan. You need to know where you're going to with this relationship. You need to be more empathetic. You need to be more open with the other part. You need to look past the illusions that you still may have with this relationship. So you need to be very concrete. You need to make a plan, even write it down for what you want to achieve as a couple to your future. All right, so that you have a plan and that you have a project. Okay, so that the illusions are gone, and then you have something concrete on which to hold on to. All right, but it's a month where the dream may be the key to this. So don't project your dreams in this relationship without talking to the other person first. But I believe that it would be a relationship to be maintained, nevertheless. Then we have your money life, and in here we encounter something very similar to this situation with the Devil and the King of Coins, because here we have the Judgment, and it comes with the King of Swords. See the pattern? King, King, good. The Judgment, it's a card that talks about something that needs to be solved once and for all. Okay, usually it's a very positive card because it means the release of something. Say that you have been in a financial position that is the worst. You are counting pennies, you don't have enough. You've already been here before. In your life, somewhere, you've already been here before. Sometimes it's not even in this lifetime, it's from previous lifetimes. But this is a pattern that's been going on in your life. Either someone in your family or your parents or in your household, the money was always down to nickel and dime. You were like counting every penny that you had. And you brought that pattern with you, and now even though you may live in abundance, there is something going on with your money that is making whatever pattern it is come back. It may be also a pattern of someone who had a lot and didn't know what to do with it, and then just spent a lot of money and didn't honor that energy, and what happened is that all that money was squandered, and now you are in a position where you are either afraid of squandering that money, or you feel like you may be squandering that money. So there is a pattern here in your life regarding your money, and this King of Swords is here to help you find what you need to find to overcome the situation. Okay, you're gonna find help from an expert. Okay, if you are in debt, you may find here the help from an accountant, the help from your bank account manager, someone who may help you renegotiate your debts or find a new way to use your money so that you have enough money by the end of the month, or that you can be able to overcome the situation and feel like you don't need to worry about it as much anymore. If you are in a position where you have plenty of money and you need to see where to invest it, how to invest it, not to be caught into trouble when you're trying to begin a new business, for example, you have here a counselor that can give you a hand in how to do things the best way possible, so that these money worries, these money situations, these investment situations don't repeat again and again and again in your life. The card of Judgment is the card that tells us that a problem is not solved in the same position where it is created. You need to raise a level, either by finding new knowledge or by finding new means to be able to overcome this problem, this situation. And this is what this card is all about. So whatever it is that you're going on in this month regarding your money, look at your life, see what happened before that is similar, see when it happened, see what you did then, and now try to do something different, okay? And ask for the help of an expert in this area, of course. Then regarding your health, we have here the Sun with the Page of Coins. So the Page of Coins tells me that whatever it is that may happen, it's in a small condition, so it's nothing too serious, but nevertheless you should always pay attention to it, because the Sun indeed represents a lot of vitality, but also represents a great sensibility to the Sun itself. So here in the Northern Hemisphere we have summer going on, so lots of sunscreen, lots of hydration, lots of water, and hey, keep away from the beach at the hours of more heat, all right? Try to avoid getting sunburns. I would say that it wouldn't be anything too serious, but be careful with it so that it don't create the potential for something else a little bit more serious to arise, okay? So protect yourself, protect your health. Also, the Sun, because it's made of fire, can talk about burns, okay? So if you're going for a barbecue, be careful on how you go about with it, okay? So that you avoid getting burnt by distraction. Also, this may talk about, because the Sun is the ruler of Leo, and in this case it would rule the heart and your spine. Be careful about arrhythmia, be careful with stress that would make your heart fragile, or heat strokes that may affect your heart, or that may give you some sense of nervous disarray, okay? So that's what you need to look at for your health this month. But mainly, if you take care with yourself, it will be an amazing month with a lot of vitality for you to use and enjoy, work out, and do your best. Then we have here your work life, and here we have Death and the Page of Swords. Again, the second card that has the worst resume when it comes to tarot, but it has the best potentials. So in Death, we have stuff that needs to be changed. So if you are seeking for a job, I would say that it's not probable that it comes this month, maybe towards the end of the month, because we have here a new beginning with the Page of Swords. So it's possible, but not now, not immediately, okay? So be careful with that. Because you first need to change stuff regarding the way you seek for a job. Either you need to, because this comes with the Page of Swords, I'd say that either you need to change your resume, or the way you talk about yourself, or what you say at the interviews. Okay, so there's stuff that you need to adjust where you are seeking for your job. Maybe you should seek in different means. If you're trying online, see which websites you're using. Maybe you can find different websites that are more trustworthy, that have a more accurate search towards the area that you're looking for. Instead of looking for a general website, try to go for something more specific, for specialists, or for that specific area. This is just stuff that these cards bring into my mind, okay? But give your resume to someone to take a look at it and see if it's all right, if there's anything that you need to polish off. See if you can polish also your speech during the interviews, so that you can find another job. If you are working and either waiting for the renovation of your contract, I would say that it's possible that it may happen, but stuff will change, okay? Either you change functions, change where you are doing what you're doing, change teams, something will change here. If you are already with a contract that is a binding contract to the company, maybe the case that you're going to have changes here. Either a new project is pitched to you for you to work on, or you have to change the team that you are working with, or you have to change the presentation or the focus of whatever it is that you're doing. So something will change in your work, okay? I don't see here that you are going to lose the job. I wouldn't say so. I think that your functions, what you do will have to be adjusted for those of you who are seeking the renovation of a contract. It's possible that you are dismissed and then you have to seek for something new, but it will be something that you will easily find. All right, this combination, it's not a combination where I say that you will stay for a long time without a job, but it is a possibility. Most of the times it's just something that will be changed in your situation instead of a rupture with your boss, okay? With your employer in this case. So, regarding your spiritual life, we have here the Chariot and the Five of Swords. What this tells me is that you have new goals or the possibility to find new goals in your spiritual life, okay? Either you, because I'm going to rephrase this. It may be the case that you find something that interests you most, that makes you develop your attention and your taste and your beliefs, all right? There is something that awakens you a little bit more. The card of the Chariot, it's a card of triumph, it's a card of travel, but it's also a card of willpower, will strength, discipline, the ability to move forward, okay? So that's what's going on. In here, what you have is the possibility for you to define new goals, new objectives with your spiritual life and go after them, okay? So, with this Chariot, what I would say is that you find something that needs a little bit more discipline in your spiritual life, something that needs a little bit more commitment from you, or you develop new goals that you want to achieve in your spiritual life. You want to say you want to develop your intuition, say you want to be more, you want to be a better Reiki practitioner, you want to do it more often. Say, I always give this example as something that wouldn't be seen as spiritual. Say that you want to develop your painting skills, because that's something that when you do it, you feel like you're more in touch with the whole, and by doing better painting, by perfectioning the stroke of the brush, you feel that it will give you more peace and more enjoyment. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're gonna go for it, and you're going to have new goals to achieve, either solo or as a group. But you're going to have new goals to achieve and to pursue, and you'll be triumphant in those, okay? But those things may create a little bit of a scruff with your regular path. Say that you work your spiritual path in a group, you're part of a congregation of a church. You may feel that you need to justify yourself, or you may get into some arguments. If you do it on yourself alone, it may be the case that you need to justify that you are not so much with your family or with your friends to dedicate yourself to what you want to achieve. Okay, so be prepared to defend your position, to have a couple of verbal arguments here, all right? Battles of ideas and of wills. But this is going to be a very positive and very life-changing month regarding your spirituality. Well, now let's see what the Ascended Masters and the Isis Oracle have to tell you. And we begin with the god Pan that talks about fertility. And he says as follows. This card signifies that it's a very fertile time for you. It is an ideal time for the conception of a baby or new projects. All of the doors are open for you right now. Sorry. Your mind is fertile with many wonderful new ideas, and abundance easily flows to you. There we have it. Since everything is in its infancy, the pages, have patience with the growth process. Just nurture yourself and new projects so that you stay strong and fertile. Additional meanings for this card may be you have the Midas touch and everything is turning to gold right now. There is good news about pregnancy or adoption if that's what you're seeking. Let go of worries or guilt and enjoy yourself. Now is a good time to start projects. Okay? So this is an amazing card that comes to you. The pregnancy part can be seen here with the moon as well, because the moon, the full moon stage usually represents the mother and represents the mothering part, and the Three of Coins, completion of a first stage of something. So the entry of an embryo and the nesting of the embryo and subsequent development of a pregnancy. So maybe the case. Then we have Lady of the Stars, the priestess of Sirius, coming from the Isis Oracle. And here we have Sirius is a celestial goddess, a star of unconditional love and wisdom at an extremely high vibration. It brings deep soul awakening, spiritual gifts, and a high capacity for divine service. Lady of the Stars is also an empowerment of all other oracles in this deck. If we were using any other oracles, any other cards, that would be it. She tells you to pay attention because something significant is taking place right now. The Chariot, the Devil, the Death, the Sun. All of this together, it's a very crucial moment in your life. Sirian energy takes the inner path and the spiritual healing journey into a whole new stratosphere. It is wise, ancient, and an extremely high vibrational energy. It takes a certain level of soul evolution to be able to consciously register Sirian light and transmit it on this planet. The heart in question must be able to consciously cultivate unconditional love for it to occur. However, we can still receive Sirian light and healing assistance even if we are still learning to more consistently come from unconditional love. We will feel it more and more strongly as we grow spiritually, but even in our learning phase, we can open our hearts to this divine celestial goddess and allow her, through her priestess Lady Isis, to bless us with genuine spiritual gifts. Goddess Sirius, through her priestess Lady Isis, is reaching to you now. She has offerings of great spiritual support and the message that there is something significant that you need to be aware of in your life right now too. Accepting celestial assistance in unconditional love of Sirius will help you now. To receive the assistance, you can choose to surrender into your heart and allow divine love to infuse and heal, direct and unfold all aspects of your life and growth. It is total trust and surrender with absolute faith that even unexpected twists and turns will be leading you in the best direction. So, this is an amazing card. It's a card that talks a lot about development, talks about unconditional love, talks about openness and trust in the works of your path. And the Chariot is representing your soul directing your path. Okay, so this is an amazing card that will touch all areas of your life this month, and that brings you an amazing message of trust. I hope that you've liked this video. I hope that it made sense and that it helped you, and I hope to see you again in the next video. See you soon. Bye.